Hey guys, it's CJ again. Happy holidays. I don't know if it's Madaraka Day. I'm not so sure because I'm filming this before. Anyway, hi guys, welcome. Thank you so much for the love that I've received from you guys. To everyone who has reached out and connected and interacted with my content, I'm so grateful, and for that I decided to film this video for you guys to help somebody and also to help myself and also continue learning, because you know, in makeup we learn every day. It's every day is a journey. Every day something new has popped up. Every day something new is coming up. So yeah, that's why I decided to shoot this video. So today I want to share with us how to get your perfect foundation shade. I know it's always crazy for most of us. It is a challenge for most of us. It is also a challenge for me, as for myself and also as a makeup artist, to get foundation shades that match my clients. Sometimes it can be tricky, and then sometimes even the foundations that I wear myself can be tricky because of a lot of things actually determine the foundation shade that you're going to have. As women, our hormones tend to behave the way they want. They just decide, you know, tutakaa vile tunataka, you know, hormones. So you sometimes you have this foundation today, is perfect shade, tomorrow the shade is not matching you. There's just so many reasons why your foundation shade doesn't match you. There are hormones, there is, you know, like there's pregnancy tends to change the way your foundation shade changes, because like right now the foundation shade that I had before I had my baby is totally different from the foundation shade that I'm using right now, because of, you know, changes of appearance, especially around our neck and yeah, all the kind of gist. So if you are having a challenge and you're interested in this kind of video, that is what I want to bring you today. So the first things first, so when you want to find the best foundation shade, is to know the categories of foundation shades that are there. So normally we have categories like fair, light, medium, tan, deep, and dark. So we tend to play around that, but for women of color, most of the time we play around medium, tan, deep, and dark. So fair, maybe light sometimes, but most of us, we are about like fair, medium, dark, and tan. That's where we are. So that's the first thing you want to know. You have to know your category. So like someone like me, I'm not in the fair category, neither am I in the deep category, or am I in the dark category. So I'm like in between. I'm just medium, hapo hivyo. So yeah, and I'm not even, I don't think I'm tan, so I'm deep. Remember back in the days when you used to go to Dubois and they used to have only 3 categories of foundation shades. You're either light, you're either light, medium, or dark. So nowadays there are a lot of ranges. There are a lot of ranges and a lot of categories for you to choose from. You don't have to settle for something that is not yours. Don't settle, baby girl. Do not settle for what is not yours. There's a lot of choices to choose from. Like there's a lot of varieties to choose from. Okay, so you have to know the category that you're in. Are you light? Are you medium? Are you deep? Or are you dark? So you have to know all that. So after doing that, the second thing that you want to check out is your undertone. So undertone, where this is where now the whole story is going to change. Like the whole complication and confusion comes in undertone. Okay, so what is an undertone? Okay, I'm having my notes down here, so if you see me looking down, it's because I cannot record everything in my head, and this one requires a lot of research, so I don't bring you things that I have to be on point with my points so that I help you as much as I can. So an undertone is the color from underneath the surface of your skin, all right, that affects your overall hue. How can I say this in a layman's language for all of us to understand? Mtu anaweza kuwa mweupe, like you see the way, let me use like wazungus or white people. You see the way you see white people, they're light, yeah, they're light, but sometimes you feel like there's a redness underneath their light skin, or there's a pinkish, or there's just a grayish kind of thing. That is what we call as an undertone. All right, for us dark people, you can find somebody is like a brown skin, but they have like a yellow somewhere, or they have like a red. Like for dark people, they always have like a red undertone, or a grayish undertone, or a silver kind of undertone, things like that. That is what we mean by undertone. Now, how to define your undertone is very easy. Let me give it to you in the easiest way that you can relate to, is the kind of jewelry that you wear. So if you find yourself getting attracted to jewelries like first of all, the undertones are 3. We have cool, neutral, and warm. Those are the only undertones that you have. So if you have, like, you find yourself wearing jewelry that tend to, or finding yourself to tend to wear jewelries that are gold in color, like you're attracted so much to gold, stuff, you are most likely of warm undertone. If you find yourself to like so much of silver and you lean towards silver so much, you are most likely to be of cool undertone. Now if you find yourself on both, like you can wear gold and silver and you still love them, you still love how they look on your skin, then you're most likely to be of a neutral undertone. Are we together up to that point? Now if you're going to get a foundation shade and you already know your category, make sure that the category that you're in have a wide range of different undertones, okay, so that you are able to get your exact match. Because if you go to a foundation that has limited categories of undertones, that will mean that you'll have to settle for the closest thing that is your shade, which is not the right thing to do. Unfortunately, here in Kenya, we have brands that are so limiting. So for you to find, we have brands that give us very limited foundation undertones. So it's quite difficult for us to get like the perfect shade. So we have to settle for what is close. And for the shades that have a huge undertone selection, like Juvia's and Fenty, they're so expensive for most of us to afford. So we have to play around with things like Maybelline, LA Girl, and LA Colors and all that kind of things. I'm not saying they're bad, it's good because that is what sometimes we can afford. That is what most of us can afford. It's good to be real at some point, alright? So we have to settle with that, okay? And you just have to find the closest. If you cannot find the exact in those foundation what can I say, foundation companies, you have to find the closest that it is to your undertone. Are we together? So sometimes even the naming of the foundations will determine if it is of your undertone or not. Like you find some foundations have been written warm caramel or something bronze, or you can find cool tan. Like now for cool tan, it will tell you that is a foundation for somebody who has a warm undertone. Like MAC has a way of labeling their foundations. They have N60, N45. So N means neutral, and they have like W something. W means warm. So that will guide you. If you're of warm undertone, you go for W something, and if you're of a neutral undertone, you go for N something. But if you can play around with both, you can take both. Yeah, so that's another thing to help you choose your foundation undertone according to the naming of the foundation from different companies. So now that you know your skin tone and your undertone, you want to determine your skin type. Now skin type can be divided as oily, dry, combination, and what else? Sensitive. Also sensitive is another way of defining your skin type. So we have warm, dry, neutral, warm, dry, combination, oily, and sometimes sensitive. So this is how you determine your skin type. If you wake up in the morning and the first thing you feel when you touch your face is you see a lot of oils in it, you have oily skin. And if you touch your face in the morning the first thing and you notice that it's just too dry, that is dry skin, okay? Or if you look in the mirror and you just look like, hey, it's like the life have been sucked out of your face, that means you have dry skin. And if you touch your face and you are neither oily or normal and you rarely break out, then you have normal skin type. If you wake up and you realize that areas around this patch, or around your T-zone, we call this T-zone, alright, it draws like a T from your eyebrow to your eyebrows all the way down here. That's your T-zone area. You find it oily and the rest of your face is a bit like dry, then you have combination skin, okay? If you're somebody who breaks out a lot, then you might have sensitive skin, okay? Or maybe your hormones have just decided to just behave the way they want to. Alright, so yeah, it is also important to know your skin type before you go ahead and buy your foundations. Because what does skin type help you with? Skin type will help you with the type of foundation you're going to choose. If you have oily skin, you're most likely going to choose foundations that have water-based products in them. Water-based meaning they're hydrating and they do not have oils in them. So you have also to check your ingredients of the foundations that you're going to purchase. If you have dry skin, you're going to choose foundations that are hydrating foundation, illuminating foundations, or like what else? Yeah, most likely hydrating, moisturizing, and illuminating foundations, okay? If you have combination skin, you are definitely going to use you can get away with matte foundations and also oily foundations, because you will be able to control like around your T-zone area, you'll use like a matte primer before you apply your foundation, so you can play around, let's say matte and hydrating up with or something like that. I hope that is clear. You need to know your skin type to be able to know the kind of foundation you're going to buy. I know there was a time that almost everyone was wearing matte foundations, and I know that is because most of us did not even understand that there are skin types that people are supposed to relate with. I have a foundation called this foundation here, Wet n Wild. Okay, this foundation is great for someone who has oily skin. This foundation is dry. When I mean dry, it is matte. This one, it's a very nice foundation and it's affordable. If you can get it, it goes for, I think this will be a different topic for me to hold the most affordable foundations you can get here in Nairobi. So this one is a good one. It is matte, like even when you blend it on your skin, you have to be super fast on blending because it dries so fast. And the ingredients here, if I can say, it says it mattifies and blurs pores for a shine free finish, buildable coverage for normal to oily skin. Okay, so somebody who is oily and normal can get away with this. So if you are like your skin is normal and around this area, and you feel like you're oily around this area, you can get away with this. So that is what I mean. Okay, and the oily part of your face, I mean the oily type of face, I do not refer to people who sleep with their face soaked in serums and oils and it's glossy and all that. That is not what I mean by oily. All right, you can just, when you wake up, you know yourself, you know how your skin looks and how your skin feels, so you can be able to determine whether it's oily, it's dry, or it's just neutral, it's just sensitive. Yeah, that kind of thing. So that will be able to help you know which kind of foundations to fall for. I hope that is also making sense because explaining these things in theory is a bit too complicated compared to just doing them practically, but I have to explain theory so that we can understand the practicality of it. English, where? Some of the reasons why most of us, when we wear foundation, it tends to glide off our face is because you have oily skin and you go ahead and use foundations that are not oil free. They're like, they have oils in it. So if for you to know your ingredients, the first ingredient has to be water. Like water has to be in a large quantity. I don't know how that can be relatable to us here in Kenya, because I feel in Africa it's like they don't consider a lot of things. At some point, even these foundations here in Kenya that we consider to be original are not like the first grades of original foundations. I don't know if somebody has come across, let's say, like a Fit Me from Kenya or South Africa and a Fit Me from the US. The packaging is usually, there's always a difference. You even wonder what's going on, what is going on. Even Vaseline, from a simple thing as Vaseline that is here in Kenya compared to a Vaseline that comes from a country like Saudi Arabia or South Africa, the same brand, the same grams, the packaging always looks different. So even I myself, when it comes to makeup, I'm always like, hey, there's a bit of, all that. So you find that some of these things that come to Africa, they will not categorize them as proper as they would in other countries. Okay, so that is where the challenge is. So somebody will find it hard to find a foundation that is oil free. So you just have to settle with the matte. So you just have, when they write matte, you're like, oh, anyway, when it's matte, when they say it's matte, it means it's oil free. So let me check if this one has. Let me check, because this one is super matte and I know it's matte. Let me see how the ingredients are written, because okay, now like you see, even like in this one, it doesn't have ingredients written on it. So it becomes, this is mahogany akaju, okay, dark deep fonts. Yeah, it doesn't have, so you see, like things like those. So it's hard. So the only thing you will rely on for someone who's going to look for a foundation and you have dry skin is the fact that it has been written, it mattifies and blurs pores. All right, and here it has been written matte. So that is the only thing you will rely on. So it becomes a bit complicated for somebody to go ahead and know if the products or the formulations in the products are really going to work for your skin, or they're literally just going to make everything a mess. All right, so because this is marketing, so they don't really care about, I feel like they don't really care about what they put in the market for us as black skin girls or as Africans in general. I don't mean to be racist and I don't mean to be out of topic, but that is what I feel. And yeah, we just have to we just have to, I don't know whether we need to adapt and deal with it, or we need to find other ways. I don't know, but I know things will get better. Things are getting better in the industry. Okay, so now that you have an idea of what you're going to look for in a foundation, or what foundation will work for you, now it's time for you to go to the stores and choose the color. So what you want to do is get like 3 shades of foundation. So when you go to the stores, you go there. Some foundation shades or some stores give you samples. I know of stores that do give samples. I don't want to mention because I'm not pretty sure if they still do that anymore. But there are stores that give you samples. You go there, they swatch it on your face, and they give you samples to go home, test with them for a few days, and you can come back and get them. Or some stores will just, most stores will just swatch it on your face, and they tell you that is your match. And you're in the store, and there is so much lighting in the store, and then they tell you that is your perfect match, and then you go ahead and purchase it, and you get home and you apply it, and you're like, okay, was I blind? You are not blind. You see, like right now I'm having so much natural, not artificial lights on me, and most of these beauty stores, that is what they have a lot of artificial lights. So when you get there, you're not even sure if that is perfect or not perfect. It's not perfect. It's the same way that if I want to do like makeup on a client, I would go with them outside on natural lighting, and then apply the foundations on the, this part of the face. Never ever ever, never ever, never ever ever, I'm putting this in emphasis, never ever swatch foundations on your arm. Never, because able, look at that contrast. My face is usually super light than the rest of my body. You see that? So if I'm going to use a foundation, this shade to match my, it's not going to, because this part is light, this part is darker. So if I'm using this part to swatch my foundation shades to determine the what is it called, to determine the color of the foundation that I'm supposed to use on my face, is going to be a total fail. That is what most of us do. That is what everyone has done for the longest time. That is what I have done before. I am not because that is how people started learning on how to do makeup. Like, you used to follow anything you see and you just go ahead and try it out. So what is the best part for you to test if the foundation is your shade? So the best part is here and your chest. Okay, don't use your neck. You can use your neck if your neck matches the rest of your body, but in most cases our neck is usually darker than the rest of our face, and the reason why is because this face sometimes creates a shadow. It casts a shadow on our neck, so you can't really see the correct shade of your neck. All right, when you're like this part looks like it's darker, so our face tends to like cast a shadow on our neck. And then also something else that makes our neck to be a little bit darker, if you're a woman, if you have ever given birth or if you have ever gotten pregnant, after you have your baby, your neck always goes darker. It goes darker compared to the rest of your face, so you can't really use your neck to compare. That is why when you do our foundation and your neck doesn't match the rest of your body, that is why we take it all the way down to your neck. So the best part to use is your chest. You can, if you are not somebody who can go with your exposing your chest like I have right now, you use this part. Okay, you use this part of your face to determine the right foundation shade. Now let me talk about the most affordable foundation shade that all of us can get access to, and that is the Maybelline foundation. You have to be really good with Maybelline, because Maybelline has a property of oxidizing. Maybelline gets darker once it's exposed to air. I'm not even sure, I don't know if I'm the only person who has noticed that, but if you have, please comment down below, let me know, so that we help everyone. I also learn if it's my experience or it's just something, but I've had a lot of reviews about Maybelline does tend to go darker, which is sometimes an advantage and a disadvantage at the same time, because if it is an advantage, sometimes you apply it on a darker skin and the foundation is like one shade lighter, you can always get away with it. Even if you get a shade lighter of Maybelline Fit Me foundation, you can always get away with it, because the moment it hits the air like this, it tends to go darker and just blend into your skin. Now the problem with it, when you use it on a light skinned person and you use a shade that is perfect, sometimes it is perfect with that person, sometimes it tends to oxidize and get kind of darker. I've had an experience with the light person. When I was applying it, the foundation was perfect, but after a few minutes they looked darker to me. They didn't notice, but because I have experience in that, I noticed that it was going darker. So with Maybelline, you really have to be You really have to be good. Let me not lie to you. You have to be good. But it's not so bad. With Maybelline, even if you get a shade lighter, it's okay. At some point it goes and just sits and dissolves into your skin perfectly. So now let's do this the practical way, okay? So I have different shades of foundations here from different brands that I'm going to swatch on my skin, and then you guys can determine whether it is the correct shade for me or it's not. So first of all, I'm going to start with these two foundation shades. Now these are foundation shades that I used to wear before. This one I used to wear it before I had my baby. And it used to look dope on my skin. But the other day when I used this foundation, it was so red because the undertone in this is super red. I know you guys can't see it because of the light. This is the LA Girl Pro Coverage. I love this foundation. If you have dry skin, this is the best foundation for you. This is LA Girl Pro Coverage HD Longwear Illuminating Foundation. This foundation is dope. When you wear it, your skin glows on another level. It's good, but right now if I use it, I look red. There's a video I did and I used this foundation just recently and it just looked so ashy on my face. And then there is this is the Wet n Wild. I got this after having my baby, and when I was at the stores, it matched perfectly. This foundation is less than 1,000 shillings and it's beautiful, it's cute. I think I need to do a video on affordable foundations that we can find on these stores, and it has this applicator which I love. So this is good. It's classy. It doesn't look like the price in it, but it's dope. This also has a red undertone, so I'm going to use these two, and you guys can determine the undertone that is going to give me, because it has a red undertone. That's what I mean. It's brown, right? It's brown. It's brown, but the undertone in them is kind of reddish. This one is even more orangish than this one. This one is, but I can get away with this if I put like a blue solution to it. That's a whole different topic for you guys. So, and I have Maybelline. I hope this video doesn't become too long. I have Maybelline foundations here. I have 340, I have 356, I have 364, and I have 360. Now what I meant when I said that take the three shades that you think are closest to you, when I look at 356, when I look at 340 and 356, all right, they look to be way much on the lighter side. They do not, even if I put it here on my face, it's super lighter on my face, okay? So I would definitely not go with this. I would just keep those ones aside if I was at a Maybelline store. Then I would take the ones that are really close to me right now are 364, can you see, and 360. All right, so I have these two, so I will settle for these two at the store because this is what I have currently right now. But you can even go maybe another shade deeper. This is deep bronze, so you see this, the way they mean deep bronze. So if your undertone is deeper, have a deeper undertone, it's the category. Remember when you said about category, light, deep, and all that? So if you realize that you're in the deep category, this will work for you. So you will straight away know that you need a deep, yeah, that one. So this one is mocha. This one is mocha. So in mocha, you wouldn't know which category it's in. So I'm going to swatch these two. Where today is that day. So this is 364. I'm going to swatch it here. Okay, see, that is 364. All right, 364, that is how it looks. And I'm going to use my finger to blend that in. Another thing, when you're going to get your foundations, kindly do not make sure your face is bare. You only have like your moisturizer, all right, in it. That is 364. I'm also going to just make a swatch in a straight line so that it doesn't, because if you look at it right now, it's like it has dissolved in my skin. And then also notice that I have natural lighting on me, so you have to be careful because natural lighting tend to lie to us. So that is 360. So that is 364, if you guys can see that. Okay, 364. If you look at 364 and you look at my neck or here, so I'm also going to swatch it on my chest right here. I don't know if it's showing. That is 364. I don't know if you guys can see, but let me just add a little bit. So I've kind of like blended it into my skin right there. Can you guys see? because if I turn like this, you see like there's something I have. Alright, like there's a paste, I have like a black paste on me, or just a different, like this part and this part doesn't look like this part. Alright, so let's go ahead and use 360. So I'm going to apply 360 here. That is 360. Looks super lighter than 364 at this point, so I'm even confused. That is 360 right there. Okay, so I'm also going to go ahead and blend this into my chest, or into my skin. Like, let me even start at this point. I had a beauty blender. Okay, so let's do this with the beauty blender. And I want you guys to be the judge and tell me. So, because maybe I've been using the wrong foundation and I don't know. So this is where 360 is. This is where 364 is. So if you guys look at me, let me say like this so that I can create like a shadow. If you guys look at my chest, I will definitely, on the camera, on my I'm using, it's called a viewfinder, so I can see this color perfectly. Like it feels like I have a tan, like a bun, like something burned me, or like a birthmark. I feel like it shows like that. But here I feel like I cannot really see it protruding. I don't know about my face. Let me blend my face. Let me blend 360 on my face. So that is 360 that I'm blending. Okay, so I've blended 360 right there. Okay, hope you guys can see that. 360. This is 364 right here. I've not yet blended it that perfectly, but I'm using this side of the beauty blender now to blend now 364. I'm not using the same side. That is 364, and this is 360. You see, this is what I mean about Maybelline. Like I can easily, but you see, you can notice this. I'm not so sure. If you're very keen, you can notice like I have something on my face, right? But if you look at this 360, and if you look at me at this, at here, at this place right here, because that is what I'm seeing in the mirror, and that is what I'm seeing on my viewfinder, that I can notice that I have like a streak of line going on around here, but I have like something, yes, I have like an application, but it's not, it's really getting into my skin. All right, if you look at me here, I feel like it doesn't look like I've applied something, but you can notice this color. It's like this color is a bit lighter. I don't even know if it's lighter or if it's not lighter, but at this point I can definitely get away with this color. Do you know, I can get away with this color very easily. Get away with this color if it blends and oxidizes, and if I pair it perfectly with other products, I can blend with this color. But you will notice that I have something on my face. But with this one, I will not even need to add anything else. It blends perfectly into my skin. I don't know, yeah, I can't even notice it in the mirror. I cannot like really notice it. You see, even with my neck it blends. Sometimes you can really compare your foundation, because I do use my neck sometimes, or the necks of my clients too, to determine the foundation shade. You can do that. You can do that if you are really good at what you're doing. You can do that. And how you can do that is make sure that the foundation you're going to use on your neck, you see, like if I use it right here, sometimes I do use my foundation, my neck, to determine the color of my foundation shades, so that when I'm applying, I don't put products all the way down to my neck. And I do that especially if I'm going to wear something that is going to cover up my entire body. Like you can see, this is 360. This is 360 right here. You can't even see I've applied anything. So it's a perfect match with my neck and my face. You can do that. It's not a bad thing. You can do that. You can use your neck. You can like put it on your neck and just dissolve it. And if it dissolves perfectly, like you can have 3 shades, and the one that will not be, the one that will dissolve into your skin, that is your perfect shade. I hope this helps somebody. I hope I hope I'm explaining it in a good way that all of us can really understand it. Now I'm going to use the first, so at this point the foundation I will go with is 364, but because I have both of them, I will go do my business. I wouldn't purchase them immediately. I will go do my business, go around, do other things, and just see how it reacts with air, and just take a camera, take a selfie, see if it gives me a flashback, which foundation just sits well, and just go back now and purchase. Because now the lights in the stores, they tend to confuse you. But for you to know, if you don't have time to go around and test, the foundation that will dissolve in your skin, either on your neck or your chest. But some other people have very light chest compared to their neck. That's why I'm saying with your neck it's kind of tricky. But if you're good and you feel like your neck and your body kind of like they embody each other, you can use your neck. The foundation that will dissolve and just disappear in your skin, that is your best shade. If you are using natural lighting, the foundation that will just dissolve in your skin, that will be your perfect shade. Yeah, I hope this one will really help you. And if you have a different way and you feel like the way that I'm saying it is not going to work, please comment down below. Let us know which technique you use best, but never ever use your hand. Your hand will always misguide you. It is not the right thing to do. So yeah, that will be that. So I want to use the two foundations, the ones that I was saying have a red undertone. So right now I want to use these two foundations. You see, they have like, they're almost close, but they're different. That is where my undertone comes and helps in, because this one has like more of, I don't know if it's orange into it, and this one has more like a red undertone to it. So let me start with the Wet n Wild. And as I've said, this foundation is dope, especially if you are somebody who is on a budget and you have oily skin. This foundation is good. It's really good. I got it from Ken's Pharmacy. It was less than 1,000 shillings. So this is Wet n Wild. So I'm going to swatch that here. Mind you, when I went to purchase it, I was told it was my foundation shade. So you can imagine. Okay, so I'm also swatching it here. Alright. It dries really fast. So that is Wet n Wild. Let me use this part of the beauty blender to blend that into my face. You guys can see. So that day when I was testing it, they blended it on my face. And as you can see, it's kind of disappearing, alright? It's kind of, it fits my face, alright? So let's see if it fits my chest. That's why we are saying it's good to use your chest to test these things. Can you guys see? It's giving me red. Like, it looks like it's red here, but I can get away with it. That's why I'm saying it's very good to, like with this foundation, if that day I would have gone outside and walked around and see if it's working, I would have gotten away with it. But when I apply it in my entire face, sis, and just use other product with it, it turns out, it just doesn't look like me. That's why I'm saying it's good to, if you can have a sample, it's good. But if you can walk around with it, just figure out yourself, you know. Like, look at these three foundations. I have 1, 2, and 3. This one definitely is not my shade. It's still just protruding there outright black. This one has dissolved into my skin. This one is giving us a red tan. So it's not really, but this one would work perfectly for contour because I want to give myself some warmth. So this would be good for me to contour my face with it. But it wouldn't be ideal for my face because it is dry. So it's really drying. So once I'm done applying it, I always look so ashy and just, it's like life have been sucked out of my face. So this one wouldn't be perfect for somebody who has dry skin. It is good for someone who has oily skin. Yes, so that is where your skin type comes in. It's really important. I hope you guys can see and tell me, is that true? Does it dissolve? It dissolves in my face, but on my neck, on my chest, it's a whole different story. And then the other one I'm going to use is this LA Girl. I'm about to finish so that this video doesn't become such a long thing, but this is a very serious topic, so you have to be patient even if it's long, because your foundation is the basis of your makeup. If your foundation is perfect, everything else is going to flow. But if your foundation is not perfect, the rest of everything is going to look awkward. If you don't know now, you do. So this one, I'm going to apply it here. That is illegal. Okay, then I apply it here on my neck, then apply it here. Can you see? What is this? Where am I going with this? But it used to match, so you can imagine. I don't know what happened. That's why I'm telling you, hormones be acting it. That's the way it feels like out here. Yes, so this one I'm going to blend with this part of a beauty blender. Beauty blender. And always make sure your blender is damp. At this point, I'm not using a damp one because it's just practicality. I'm not going anywhere with it. So this one I'm blending. Can you guys see that? It's blended. And how does it look with the rest of my face? like something has been plastered on my face, right? Look at my neck. With your neck, it will always absorb everything that you put on your face. The redness is just too much. I don't know. Look at that. Look at that. I can get away with this. So different foundation companies have different undertones for you. Alright, so you need to be clever. So I have LA here. I have Wet n Wild here. I have, this is 364 right here, and I have 360. So I want you guys to be the judge. Which foundation shade matches me perfectly? That is how you go and you match your foundation shades. It is tricky, it needs patience. Do not go there when you are not prepared to waste your time. Please go there when you are ready to waste your time, and go there when you are ready to ask people, and go there when you are ready to walk around with the foundation that you have on your face, so that you can get your foundation shade that is a perfect match. And also, when you're getting your foundation shade a perfect match, if you're a beginner, make sure what you're getting is lightweight, so that you don't feel uncomfortable with it. Those are practically the things that I wanted to share and tell you guys how you choose your foundation shades. If you guys feel like it's a different what can I say, if you have a different way of showing us how to do this, please comment down below, let us know. I can always use your technique in different videos to come here and view with you guys. And also, I am going to share these both on my YouTube and here on Facebook, so you can check it out. It will be available for everyone to check it out anytime, any day. And thank you so much for the love, you guys. I hope this video helps you out. And if there's something I've left out, please comment down below, let us know. Let us read together, let us learn together. This is not only just for you guys, it is also for me to continue learning different types, different tricks and all that. So yeah, if you want to know where you can find affordable foundation shades, that is also a different topic. We can talk about that in another video. Let me know the things that you want to know, the things that I can help you with, the things that you would love to know. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Happy holidays, and I hope you enjoyed this video and give it a thumbs up. So yeah, see you guys in the next one. Bye.